Today is December 14th. It's the 349th day of the year, and this is the On This Day podcast. Today is Monkey Day all over the world, also known as World Monkey Day, or International Day of the Monkey. Okay, I made up that last one, but why not? Monkey Day is reportedly started by a couple of art students at Michigan State University, Casey Sorrow and Eric Milliken, as a joke when one of them marks Monkey Day down on a friend's calendar on this day in the year 2000. And since then, somehow it snowballs into a global observance in zoos around the world with its own Hallmark cards and art shows and costume parties, people dressing up like monkeys, free bananas, and basically, these days, anyone can start their own day. Go ahead, try it. Just start a celebratory or commemorative day and let me know what and when, and I'll be sure to mention it. On this day in 1911, a Norwegian expedition of explorers led by Roald Amundsen become the first humans to reach the South Pole. Amundsen is accompanied on this day by Norwegian polar explorers Helmer Hansen, Sverre Hassel, and Oscar Wisting, and champion skier Olav Bjaaland. The Norwegians aren't the first, and they aren't the last to try to reach the South Pole in the first half of the 20th century, before modern aircraft and technology make it possible to safely travel to the bottom of the world. Amundsen is first mate on the Belgian Antarctic expedition in 1899 aboard the RV Belgica, which gets stuck in the ice for the winter, the crew nearly perishing from scurvy. Amundsen learns a valuable lesson in the importance of a supply of fresh meat as a source of vitamin C in the absence of fruit. The first attempt to get near the South Pole, trekking across the ice cap, is made in 1902 by Robert Falcon Scott, who gets within 500 miles or so of the pole before being forced to abandon his bid. It's kind of cold down there and windy and freezy, and that just makes it a little bit hard to get to it. Ernest Shackleton makes an attempt in 1909 and gets within 100 miles of the pole. In 1911, Robert Falcon Scott is making another attempt, and much to his chagrin, he has competition this time: the Norwegians. Roald Amundsen is the most serious-looking man you'll ever see. His long jowls and furrowed brow frame a deathly cold stare that will freeze you in your tracks. This is one serious dude who is serious about exploring the Arctic and Antarctic. He is not only the first expedition leader to reach the South Pole, he is also the leader of the first air expedition to the North Pole in 1926. Along with Amundsen on the expedition is Olav Bjaaland, a champion Nordic skier and master carpenter. On the trek from their base at the Bay of Whales to the pole, he skis out in front of the sled dogs, so they have someone to chase. Helmer Hansen is an experienced pilot and sled dog driver. He's the navigator on this expedition, and while the team is at the South Pole, he is tasked with skiing in a circle around the believed position of the pole to ensure the expedition has reached its destination. Sverre Hassel and Oscar Wisting round out the team of 5, Wisting doing the honors of planting the Norwegian flag on the geographical South Pole. They wear furred skins as the Inuit do. Amundsen has learned from experience that skins are better than the wool clothes that they and others have worn on previous expeditions. And Olav Bjaaland puts his carpentry skills to work on the expedition's sleds, significantly reducing their weight by a factor of 4 while maintaining their strength. And Amundsen brings along 52 sled dogs on the trek, planning to kill some of them on the way as a source of fresh meat. Sorry, kids. They depart base camp on October 19th and arrive at 90 degrees and 0 minutes south, the geographical South Pole, on this day in 1911, 1 month ahead of Robert Falcon Scott's expedition. They set a camp that they call Polheim, home on the pole, pitch a tent, and leave a note detailing their arrival and accomplishment. And then they turn around and with their 11 remaining sled dogs, head back to the Bay of Whales and back to civilization. Amundsen attributes his expedition's success to preparation and planning, writing, quote, "I may say that this is the greatest factor, the way in which the expedition is equipped, the way in which every difficulty is foreseen and precautions taken for meeting or avoiding it. Victory awaits him who has everything in order. Luck, people call it. Defeat is certain for him who has neglected to take the necessary precautions in time. This is bad luck." Robert Falcon Scott follows behind Amundsen's team, trekking out across the ice and arriving at the South Pole 34 days later. On their return, Scott and his team will freeze and starve to death. Roald Amundsen goes on to be the first person verified to have reached the North Pole by air, along with Oscar Wisting. Amundsen and Wisting are the first men to reach both geographical poles of the Earth. Roald Amundsen disappears in 1928, flying over the Arctic with 5 others on a search and rescue mission, looking for some Italian explorers whose plane crashes on return from the North Pole. Amundsen is never seen again. A number of places, schools, and such are named after Roald Amundsen. Pretty much any place in Antarctica named Amundsen. Places like Amundsen High School in Chicago and writer Roald Dahl are named after Norwegian explorer Roald Amundsen. And Amundsen's tent, the one he pitches when he arrives at the South Pole on this day in 1911, it's still down there. It's actually designated as an historical monument, and it's buried under a pile of about 17 feet of snow that keeps shifting as the ice moves and snow accumulates. It's probably about 1.5 miles away from the geographical South Pole at this point, so see if you can find it next time you're in the neighborhood. There's 17 days left in the year. On This Day is produced by me, Dave Schultz. Thank you very much for listening. The end of the year is upon us. It's the time to make our lists of all our favorite things from the year and share them with our friends. So be sure to include this show, On This Day Podcast, in your list of favorite things, assuming it is, and share it with all your friends, acquaintances, share it with all your enemies. Share it high, share it low, give it as a gift, and encourage regifting. And if you're still listening, one size fits all. Talk to you tomorrow.